Founder and leader of the All People's Congress, Hassani Yarega, has endorsed the governing NDC's John Mahama in this year's presidential election. The declaration comes a few weeks after he was disqualified from the race for shortcomings in his nomination papers. Mr. Yarega told a news conference in Accra on Monday, though he had been approached by 3 political parties, he settled on President Mahama after thorough deliberations with his executives. Yarega explains the endorsement is of the candidate and not the party.
APC declares support for Nana Akufo-Addo for
support base of the APC. President Mahama will retain his presidency. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our national and regional campaign tour tomorrow, 29th of November, to support President Mahama in the various regions and our parliamentary candidates. We entreat our party members to vote massively for President John Dramani Mahama in the general elections and our parliamentary candidates in the parliamentary elections. This is the endorsement of the entire APC members, the flag bearer of APC, the national executive of APC, all sympathizers of APC. As sympathizers, we ask you, even though we have the best candidate for 2016, but because of our disqualification, we think that the President Mahama has done so much for our country. A president, for the first time in the history of our country, who has come out with a green book to outline the development he has done so far in 3 years. We think Ghana needs to move forward. He has laid down a lot of foundation for our people of this country. If we don't support President Mahama, that foundation will be wasted.
Mr. Yarega announced his party will from Tuesday begin campaigning for John Mahama. Now, Monday's endorsement by the APC leader, however, comes a day after his running mate and General Secretary at a preemptive news conference endorsed the flag bearer of the opposition New Patriotic Party.
We are here to declare the stand of the All People's Congress as far as the 2016 general election is concerned, upon the disqualification of our presidential candidate. It has become necessary that the party throw its weight and support behind one of the presidential candidates that are contesting this year's elections. And the party has decided to declare its support for Nana Akufo-Addo for the 7 December 2016 presidential election. And I read as follows. APC declares support for Nana Akufo-Addo for the 7 December 2016 presidential election. The National Executive Committee, the 10 regional executive committees, and the majority of the parliamentary candidates of the All People's Congress declare support for Nana Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party for the 7 December 2016 general election. This endorsement of Nana Akufo-Addo has become considering the high level of incompetence, corruption, mismanagement of the economy, high rate of unemployment, killer taxes, collapsing of the private sector business, high utility bills, nepotism, tribal politicking, etc., under the 8 years rule of the John Mahama NDC. Enough is enough, and the trending song now is change of incompetent John Mahama presidency. We strongly believe that only Nana Akufo-Addo can offer Ghanaians a more credible, incorruptible, and transformational leadership than all the other presidential candidates contesting the 2016 general election. We shall seriously campaign for the victory of Nana Akufo-Addo and the NPP for the remaining days to the general election.
Mr. Ayariga declined all questions about the apparent confusion in the party's camp and introduced a new general secretary at the news conference, Mordecai Thiumbiano, who refuted claims the APC's endorsement is financially induced. Now, elsewhere, there's confusion in the camp of the United Progressive Party after its executive dumped flag bearer Kwesi Addo to declare support for the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Mr. Odike, who also could not make it onto the 2016 presidential ballot, had earlier endorsed the opposition MPP's candidate Nana Akufo-Addo. The executives, however, say he was paid 500,000 cedis by the MPP for that endorsement. Acting National Chairman of the UPP, Alhaji Bashir Zakari, who addressed a news conference together with other executives, says Mr. Odike has already been dismissed. He does not represent the interests of the entire party.
We, the National Executive, hereby announce that Odike is just an individual gone rogue, whose views, opinions, actions, and inactions do not represent those of the party. Accordingly, under the leadership of Alhaji Bashir Zakari, the first National Vice Chairman, and now the acting National Chairman, we, the entire National Executives, including all the regional chairmen and regional executives, declare our unflinching support for President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC in the upcoming general election. Our reasons for this careful thought, two decisions are made, but here are a few. He is humble, approachable, a unifier, respectful, and peace-loving.
The Member of Parliament for Ahlor constituency, Kofi Humado, has refuted claims that the National Democratic Congress is losing ground in the Volta region to the biggest opposition party. He asserted that the New Patriotic Party is still unpopular in the Volta region and would remain so. People of the region still hold the NDC in high esteem. He made this known while speaking to journalists after a health walk at Ahlor in his constituency.
Mr. Humado explained that executives of the New Patriotic Party resorted to transporting residents across the region to rally grounds to create the impression that the people in the region are swaying from the NDC to the NPP. He's of the view that the NDC still surpasses the NPP in numbers in the Volta region, and optimistic that Ahlor constituency would give the NDC the highest votes on December 7 to retain the party in power.
We in the Volta region still believe in the NDC, and we are NDC. We have heard claims from our opposition parties, especially the NPP, that they are taking over our region of the Volta. Those claims are very false. I have also traveled around the region, and I can assure you that the people of the Volta region still remain solidly behind the NDC. We in Ahlor constituency, we chalked 96% in 2008 for NDC. In 2012, we chalked 95.4%. And this time around, we are chalking not less than 96%. We want to be the best in the whole country, that we are installing NDC into power come December 2016.
The Deputy General Secretary of NDC, Kokwani Doho, assured that eligible voters living in Togo and other neighboring countries will be allowed access into the country to exercise their franchise on December 7th. He entreated electors to vote massively for President Mahama to ensure the development agenda of the NDC for the country is not truncated.
Ghanaians in Togo coming to vote for NDC. No, let's get it clear. It's about Ghanaians living in Togo who have registered legitimately, coming to their home country to come and vote. It's not about voting for NDC, no. The law will apply equitably. If Ghanaians abroad, I mean like in Europe, in the Americas, in the Far East, can fly in and come and vote, so shall Ghanaians across the border come and vote. It's not about voting for the NDC. It's about not disenfranchising Ghanaians who are legitimate Ghanaians and have registered and must be allowed to vote. So it's not about NDC, it's about allowing all Ghanaians to be able to vote on voting day.
Kwadwo, however, condemned citizen journalist Kwame Sefakan for blasting the Electoral Commission for charging media accreditation fees and implored the media and other stakeholders to effectively play their roles to ensure the upcoming general elections are peaceful.
The other day I heard one of your colleagues making a lot of noise, and specifically Sefakan, and as if the EC is asking for the skull for journalists. Yesterday at IPAC, we got to know that it's only 10 cities. 10 cities that the EC is asking for laminated accreditation. And Sefakan stands on TV and creates the impression that the EC is extorting money from people like and Kukubaku who are destroying the journalism profession. Sefakan cannot pay 10 cities. Come on. So help us. Let us help ourselves. Let's support the security services. As far as I'm concerned, the Electoral Commission is ready. As NDC, we are ready. We believe that all the political parties are also ready.
Fred Kwame Asari's report.
A pre-election environment observation statement released by the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers has revealed some parliamentary candidates in the NDC and the MPP have engaged in vote buying by sharing money and other valuables to voters in their constituencies. Kwadwo, in the October to mid-November report, however, expressed confidence in the preparedness of the Electoral Commission ahead of the December polls. National Coordinator of Kwadwo, Albert Ahin, joins me via Skype to explain to us how they arrived at these findings and how crucial they are as far as the upcoming election is concerned. Good evening to you, Mr. Ahin, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening and good evening to your listeners as well.
All right, now, conspicuously missing is in your report are the pockets of violence that have been recorded in parts of the country. Why is that?
Yeah, we were talking about the report our pre-election observers who have been sending us reports from and in this particular one, I'm referring to some irregularities, in reference to cheating, vote buying, and break of electoral rules. What we are saying is that we are not happy about the fact that some aspiring MPs, for example, trying to vote. We give an example, aspiring organizing families, trying to pay school fees for their kids. What we are saying is that this is not good, not good to term it, because this is a very bad incident to be set, and it is actually a law.
Okay, now, typically, we'd expect that it's the incumbent party that would be doing a lot more of the vote buying. But you're saying that in this case, it cuts across both the opposition and the governing party.
Come again.
That typically, it is expected that the incumbent party is the one with the resources to engage in vote buying. But in this case, you're saying your observation is that it cuts across both the governing party and the opposition party.
Yes, when it comes to the question of getting people to vote for you, it doesn't even necessarily have to involve incumbent party or maybe the opposition. They are all doing it. All the parties, those who have the means, are doing it. And we are saying that it's not a good practice, you see, because for how long can we continue to be providing money, to people by way of, getting school fees paid? Does it mean that in your 4-year term that you'll be in Parliament, you'll be continuing to pay school fees? Or is it just you are paying just maybe for the first term or second term? That should be done. And we are saying that this is you should be voted for on merit, and not that somebody should give you money, or you should give somebody that the person can for you. It's a and we think everything is able to report.
All right, now your report also captures some level of vote buying, but would you say that this would influence the voting pattern in those areas?
What did you say? I didn't get that one right.
All right, I'm asking, will this vote buying influence the voting pattern in the areas you've observed? All right, we appear to be having some challenges with our Skype connection to Mr. Albert Aheng. We're taking a break here on Joining News Prime. We're bringing you more stories after this break. Stay tuned. Now, with barely a week to the polls, the Electoral Commission has indeed indicated its readiness to successfully execute this year's election. Head of Communications at the Commission, Eric Jakpasu, says its personnel and logistics are ready for the December 7 poll. In an interview with Joy News' Maxwell Awegba, Mr. Jakpasu, among others, also responded to reports about the loss of 6 ballot boxes whilst being transported region, preparedness for special voting, and how the Commission will counter the dissemination of false results on social media.
The countdown started from 100. Now it is down to a single digit. The day of reckoning for political parties contesting in this year's election is near. But how prepared is the body to execute this Herculean task?
The Electoral Commission is very, very much prepared. Very, very much prepared because we have deployed all our logistics, the very essential ones, to the regions and onto the district. We have finished with all the major field activities. As we speak, we are only training our officials, after which we will train the party agents, and we are ready for the election day.
Okay. To talk about the deployment of logistics, we heard about an incident in the Western region on the 16th of November where some ballot boxes that will be transported into that region, reports suggest that they fell off a truck. 6 ballot boxes. How far has the Electoral Commission come in retrieving those boxes?
You see, you can't use those ballot boxes to cause any mischief on election day. Let me start from this before I even go side of the question. They are empty ballot boxes. At best, they are just receptacles for anything. Water, paper, okay, anything you want to put inside. At this point, we classify such a material as a non-sensitive election material. All that you do is that you replace them as you're looking for them. If you don't find them before the time, you replace them, and they are ready for elections.
On the issue of special voting, which is on 1st December, how prepared is the Electoral Commission to execute that one?
We are very prepared. We are very prepared. All that we need is 1st December. God willing, we'll go and vote. Everything is set. All the materials for special voting, officials who would execute the job on 1st December. Everybody has been trained. We're all waiting for Thursday morning to come. Materials have been mobilized to all the various centers.
There's been a lot of talk about social media and how it should be controlled, especially on election day. We've seen the Electoral Commission do a good work, doing some good work with regards to Facebook and disseminating information with Facebook and trying to dispel all the rumors using Facebook. Now, in the 2012 elections, we didn't have that experience of WhatsApp and how fast people disseminate information. You'd agree with me that when results start trickling in, some people would try to, forge results and try to circulate them on social media. How is the communications unit of the Electoral Commission going to ensure that you dispel those false results that will be declared on social media, WhatsApp?
Yeah, the point is, we are active on social media as well. Yeah. That is why when you see some of these allegations come, quickly we do what? We counter them to the point that some have even retracted some of them. Yeah. A lot of false allegations and false news have been debunked on social media. You see, but the point we are making, and that's why we're even appealing to mainstream media, is that it is only the Electoral Commission declaring results. We'll be out there fighting them anyway. It's like a war. It's a turbulent terrain. Social media, with these election matters.
All right, we've been joined on the line now via Skype again by Albert Ahing of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers. Good evening to you once again, Mr. Ahing. So earlier we were speaking, and I was asking you the question, how this vote buying, if indeed you feel this vote buying is going to affect the pattern of voting in the areas you've observed.
Yeah, what we are saying is that, you know, there are people who are very happy with this because during such exercises, you know, when we are having elections, they know politicians will come to them and they'll get money. They don't see anything wrong. And we are saying that it is a breach of the law, and so we should all speak against it. You see, some electors even believe that vote buying is actually a norm. And they think it's an open, competitive market, you know, where the highest bidder, that's the politician who offers that highest bidder, is always there to win. Some of them are saying that, yes, they will collect the money, and then they will vote anyhow. Others are saying that they will collect the money, and then they will vote for them. But you see, the bottom line is that we don't need to encourage such things in our body politics.
All right.
It's a breach of the law, and we need all to condemn it.
Okay.
All of us, those of us in the NGOs, those of us in the SCSOs, politicians, and the Electoral Commission, we need to guard against it. And so what we are saying is that it is bad using people with money, because you will not be there all the time to give them money.
All right.
You only give them money this election time. And after that, that is the end of it.
They're left to themselves. Now, you also talk about the fact that the AC is 77% prepared. Is that good enough at this time?
Yes, I think the EC is from the brief that was given us at the IPAC about 2 or 3 days ago. The information was that they've sent all their needed materials, especially the sensitive materials. Everything is gone to the field, especially the ballots. All of them are gone. And then what do we have again? All they need to do is now to make sure that the security is also tight, so that come Ye Day, all their workers will be gathered around their various areas. For example, all of them are going to vote on the 1st. All the poll workers are going to engage in this special voting. And as soon as that is done, then they will be prepared, together with the security officers, to be able to execute their mandate.
All right.
So, barring any unforeseen circumstances, I believe with all the logistics being sent to the regions, we can, for example, say that, or for sure, say that the EC is ready. All that we need to do as voters is to be able to mobilize, get to these centers on time, on the 1st and then on the 7th, to be able to exercise our franchise.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ahing. Albert Ahing is with the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers. You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break at this point. We'll bring you business news thereafter. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Joy News Prime. President Mohammed has directed all heads of second cycle institutions to make provision for qualified students to go and vote on election day. The possibility that such students may be disenfranchised on December 7 has come up for discussion, especially because students will not be on vacation at the time. Speaking at the commissioning of the 22nd Community Day Senior High School at Diaso in Upper Daintra West in the Central Region, President Mohammed noted it is the civic responsibility of qualified students to be allowed to vote.
This school is for the community and not the government. Authorities must therefore be responsible for whatever goes on here. The children must also learn and learn well to become great people in future. Though it is a day senior high school, government is hopeful of turning it into a boarding school.
But you will see dormitories and a teacher accommodation, and prepare the better living night to boarding.
President Mohammed told the chiefs and people of the area his government will continue to invest in education and also appeal to them to take good care of the facility. The minority leader in Parliament has labelled projects undertaken by the Mahama-led administration as patented thievery. Oseche Mensa Bonsu says cost of developmental projects executed in the last 4 years is astronomical. He cites the NDC-led administration for misappropriation of funds and massive corruption in projects such as the Ridge Hospital, the thermal plant, and various roadworks. He will the commissioning of the 6-unit classroom block in Kumasi.
So by every single measure, we are in reverse gear. And as we've been saying, in the league of countries in West Africa, who are in the West African Monetary Zone, inclusive Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Gambia, and Guinea, Ghana has consistently been the least performer over the past 5 years. Don't forget that Sierra Leone emerged from civil war not quite long ago. Equally so for Liberia. Guinea has been unstable over the past 2 decades, and yet they are beating us in that league, the countries in the West African Monetary Zone. So we're not doing well. We must admit, we're not doing well. John Mahama, the president, has been, talking about development projects, and I'm saying that all the cost of these development projects are astronomical. Today, yes, Dumso, for instance, has abated significantly. Yes, we must acknowledge that. How come that a thermal plant that generates 220 megawatts, produced by General Electric, sold at $205 million, gets to Ghana and is selling around $400 million? It's patented thievery that is going on. The cost of road construction, Kufuor's time, it was $450,000 average per kilometer. Today, as we speak, it's $1.7 million. Right? You saw the issues about bus branding, which became topical in the country. You brand a bus, one bus, and at a cost of over 360 million Ghana cedis. Is that a way to advance this country? He's talking about the flagship of health facility, Ridge Hospital. Yes. You know the cost of Ridge Hospital? 268 million, plus an additional 80 million that is yet to be spent for a 400-bed hospital. Abu Dhabi is doing a 600-bed hospital, about the same design, 600 bed, and that one is costing them $180 million. Ghana, Abu Dhabi is a 600-bed health facility, 600-bed hospital, 180 million. Ghana's 400-bed facility is over $350 million. How come? That is why we talk about corruption that this administration is swimming in. And don't forget, all these expenditures are going to be paid by the country. We're going to use the resources of this country to pay. That is what people should be concerned about.
The presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akufo-Addo, has been asking the people of the Central Region to reflect on the many good things they enjoyed under former President Kufuor's administration. He says the promises the MPP is making are not for votes, but for the betterment of the Ghanaian society. He was speaking at a rally in the region.
Change. You have to vote for change. The 7th of December, Now do them also. And you're 5 or 7, and you're 3, and you're 2. Ostrono, the beer Ostrono one, a hawk, and I'll do a bit teaching for a That's on Papa, a banner. They are holding a carbon. They have a pure sonatino. They don't say, let us also on Namquanso Airport Jubilee House on the Nam.
Watching Joy News Prime, we're taking a break. We'll bring you to national news next. Now, the Commander Sugar Factory, which was shut down shortly after it was inaugurated early this year, is expected to resume operations this week. Management of the company says it will require about 185,000 metric tons of sugar cane for a full-year production cycle. Officials, however, say they can be assured of only 45,000 metric tons of sugar cane, which they say should run out by April 2017. My colleague Manasseh reports.
On May 30th this year, President John Mahama commissioned the Commander Sugar Factory, a project he promised would provide jobs for 7,000 people. The factory was closed down for maintenance shortly after commissioning. Joy News' visit to the factory last month saw works still ongoing. Overgrown with weeds, and the $35.5 million factory was yet to be fenced. The management of the factory says it is ready to start, but the actual production of sugar would start in the first week of December. Douglas Mensah is the managing director of the Commander Sugar Factory.
The factory is ready to receive raw material. In fact, we planned starting the operations in October, mid-October. But during those periods, the rains were still falling. You know, one problem with sugar cane is that when it is raining, you don't harvest it. Otherwise, the sucrose content will reduce drastically.
According to him, the factory will shut down for a 3-week maintenance after 2 months. The success of the Commander Sugar Factory will depend largely on the availability of raw materials to keep it running.
I can only tell you what I can harvest between this time and April. That is the plan. Please, please. Because our plan is that to produce from this time up to April, the 45,000 tons will be
of what you have now.
From April onwards, I cannot tell you exactly what we'll be having. But at least we can budget for something.
He said the factory will need about 185,000 metric tons of sugar cane for this production year. For now, the factory is sure of 24% of that target, but hopes that some sugar cane will be harvested after April. In June, the government announced a $24.5 million Indian Exim Bank loan to help in an irrigation project to grow more sugar cane. This money is yet to be accessed, but the company is taking steps to start a plantation to augment the supply from farmers.
We have money for other, we have operational expenses, we have other things, and we have source for funds, and we have gotten it, everything is ready.
How much are you investing in this project, at least for the next 1 year and or the next production season, and how much do you intend to gain out of it?
Manasseh, I said I have just given you an, you see, financial issues for me, I don't want to put them outside, but I've just given you that we have funds to take our operations. I'm telling you, the gross, you see, gross, yeah, the gross margin. Please,
speaking about specific figures, yes, because it's an estimate.
No, you see, our P&L shows I'm a gross margin of about 27% profit. Yeah, the gross margin profit. So it's profitable. The business is so profitable that I cannot even, when you compare what people are saying outside to what on books, what we have done.
Residents of Odokrom near Akosombo in the Eastern region are threatening to boycott this year's election following the failure of successive governments to develop the area. The community, according to residents, has been cut off from other communities due to a bad road network. My colleague Kwame Yanka visited the area and has filed this report.
Some residents who spoke to Joy News said children have to walk for several miles to attend school at Akosombo. The situation is worse when farmers and traders have to transport foodstuff from Odokrom to Akosombo on market days. The drivers are unable to carry foodstuff from their end to Akosombo, which means their produce will never get to the market center. The residents are therefore appealing to Asyojaman District Assembly to get their roads fixed. Apart from this challenge, some school children have lost their lives in the past in accidents on their roads.
A Kia truck loaded from here to town, and it collided on the road, whereby 10 people lost their life. Since then, nobody come to our aid.
If any political party comes to us and offers to help, they must help for all to see, else we won't vote.
Drivers at Akosombo and its environs abandoned this community for about 2 years, but some drivers have resumed business. Drivers who opt to ply Odokrom charge twice or more of the approved fare. This is to enable them take care of maintenance in the event of breakdowns.
Our roads are so bad, we have stopped coming here because of this. The fares we charge are not good, but we always have to be considerate.
You have blend or blender a more until you guys go the number when I never charge on my own to ya. And you know, I be a cram. Fair, no more musica mutu and can get my answer. I say, Omutuano, Blair, no Blair, can you honor that into yes, you did home buffalo.
Sabe say, Obi farming the Miffy Junction so by CIA quine idea. Why mammy 30 Ghana member? Because
the bad roads always affect the fares. Sometimes we get stuck out here and have to call on mechanics to help.
Me baby do ana me some people boy my car. This is a mechanic from Akosombo na Masande Naba. Ono kra no den baba kra say offer drop in the ma nipa no baby. Omo ba be campaign. Omo ba ye no ye ne NDC for any MPP for nyina ba. Ye ra DC Thomas Abinyako aba several times and so ye hu hwe.
One significant site in the community is the mast of some telecommunication companies. To get a response from the Asyojaman District Assembly have proved futile. Kwame Yanka's report for Joy News.
Entertainment.
Have a great evening.
And my name is Israelai. You have a great evening. Bye-bye.
This is Joy News Prime.